Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is the Power of Stats show, episode 4. Yes, well, that'd be 8. This is episode 4. Yes, it's the WrEXAMination after 10 games, and we got a good show planned for you today.
What you doing? This isn't the morning show. This is the Power of Stats.
I was gonna do the
I'm first here, Joshy, for this one. But you're not the only one here today.
No, and
Ken isn't. So I've invited the boys.
Yeah.
Ken, how are we doing?
Look out! Stats experts in the house.
Get out. You
So
didn't think
our
I was gonna
boy,
do the stats show, did you? No, get out of here. No.
so our boy Aaron is not feeling very well.
Mhm.
So it was going to be the 4 of us. I invited everybody today to have a little bit of fun now that we've hit our 10 match mark. And we're going to have a look at the stats for those 10 matches and a few of the stats from last season and see how we compare. And also, I'm going to jump ahead to the end of the season as well. So, first 10 are important, but the last 10 are even more important. So, I'm going to have a little look at our last matches and see how difficult they may be now that we have a little bit of an idea of where the teams are going to end up in the table. So, how are you guys doing? I haven't been on with you guys for a while.
Ken, you go ahead. I'll just.
I'm
sit.
super excited. I can't wait. I can't believe it. We're about to find out where we're going to finish the season. He's going to give us the last 10 results.
I know.
I'm pumped.
I didn't say results.
Oh. Well, you're predicting the future.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to win, so that's as much a prediction as we need.
Are we going to win?
All positive here today. No negativity.
No.
We're doing well. We're doing well. Top of the league almost. Right up there in the top group.
I'm a pure passenger tonight. Math is hard, as you know. So I'm here filling the void. Happy to do so. So let's get after it. I'm in.
How's your memory, boys? Do you remember last season?
Oh, like it was yesterday.
Yeah. You know it. All in. Let's go.
Well, we're gonna find out soon. Right, let's pull up my stats I've been working on. Just a quick reminder. Here we have our average points for the entire season. It's done on the last 10 years' results. So what you're aiming at for first position is 96 points. Second is 91 for the auto spot. Wow. Then it is above 74 to get into the playoff spots. Above 48 to get out of the relegation zone. And anything below 48, you're in trouble. So won't need to talk about that too much today, although we'll have a quick look at it. Because there is some interesting stats I came across while I was doing this for the lower end of the table. And that is a nice average. And all these averages are going to be going across most of my stats, as you'll see as we go along. But we have shown this before in the early ones, and we'll refer to it as and when we need to moving forward. Right, here's my little graphic that I built up. And as you can see, the green is growing up the right-hand side first. And that is up towards 24th place. So I'm going to zoom in now and show you the top quickly. So we have played 10 matches. We have 20 points currently. That's an average of 2 per match. And that estimates our final points total at 92, which is good enough on average to put us in second place. Second place is an automatic promotion, so we're not going to quibble about first or second. Now, of course, this is averages. We may need more, we may need less, but it's a good start to have a look at. Wow. Now, on the bottom half, it kind of shows where we're going at the moment. So the green grows up the right-hand side as we start doing matches. And basically, when the green on the right-hand side reaches the top, we have achieved the points needed for the last position, and that will continue to grow across the table until the end of the season, and we'll see where we end up with it. So I just enjoyed putting this little graph together, and it's fun to see it grow as we go through the matches. So down on the bottom left there, you can see the coloring. That is our points growing as we go through the matches, with a loss and then our win for our last 2 matches there.
The effort you put into this is awesome and amazing. I just want to point that out right away. I think it's awesome. Amazing.
I love it. So now what I can see is that we can lose this weekend and still be exactly where we need to be.
If we gain no points for our next match, that will then put us in position for 4th, because we already have the green on the next level up at 20. So not too bad. Not too bad. 1 more point and we'd be up in first place.
Now I get it. Now I get it. I understand it now.
Yeah. So if the row was complete in the level above, you could lose and still remain in that position.
Keep up, Ken. Keep up. My God. Jeez.
I've just figured it out. I've just figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh is talking like he understood it, Paddy.
Well, green is go, right? Green for go. I get it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I did the thumbnail, for God's sakes.
Right. Okay, so here I have adjusted all the positions in the league, and I have done it on a points per goal basis, because I hate looking at the table with games in hand and games to be played and extra games. So where exactly are we at the moment? So first is Birmingham City with a 2.44 points per game. So they're first with 22 points as well. Mansfield Town on a points per game basis have more than us. They are at 2.22. Now they have that game in hand, which they haven't played. They can get a 0, that's fine. But that pushes them in theory at the moment to 2nd. We are then next on 2, equal with Lincoln City. Then it starts going down the table: Wycombe Wanderers, Stockport, Exeter, Charlton. And I continued it the whole way down. So the interesting things to note here, if you look to the left-hand side of the team names, we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. So what is the point of that? Those numbers are your points per game being above what is needed on average for that position at the end of the table, at the end of the season. Okay. So if you have a look there, we have Birmingham, Mansfield, Wrexham, and Lincoln all doing above average for the top 2 spots. Now 4 into 2 does not work. So by the end of the season, that will resolve itself, obviously. And we may need more than the average if this continues to play out to the end of the year.
So if people keep overperforming, we need to do overperform as well, correct?
Yes, and we will need more than the average by the end of the season. We'll break the average.
Okay. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So it is still very, very tight if you have a look at that. If you look at the first half, everybody is kind of overachieving and everybody has the average for the top 8. Yet there's 12 teams there. So very, very tight, with a lot of people overachieving. So everybody here is within striking distance of the top 6 of the playoff spots. Obviously, at this stage, you almost always are, but you know this is showing that it's tight and that there's a lot of teams scoring. Then as you go to the second half here, it goes Reading, Stevenage, Peterborough, Bristol Rovers, Wigan, and Rotherham United. Now at that point, it gets interesting because it jumps from 1.27 points per game down to 0.89. That for the first time is a bit of a jump between levels. So everybody from there down, Northampton, Leighton, Shrewsbury, Crawley, Burton, and Cambridge all have average points that put them in position 23/24. So they are underachieving. Those bottom 6 are actually significantly underachieving. And again, in that scenario, 6 doesn't go into 4 as well. So they could be on track for having a very low points for getting knocked out.
Well, the one that
this
comes up
season
there is Crawley Town, who just came up. They got gutted, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I was thinking that they'll do better. Aaron completely disagreed with me, and he thinks they're gonna get hammered. Now we'll see. It's still early for them. My opinion on Crawley and why I think they might escape is Crawley has the ability to win matches for the full 3 points. They might not do it often, but they attack and they can win. So they may escape with a couple of good matches on a run at some point, especially if the points end up being lower this season. But we'll wait to see. They could get dragged down into it as well. But yeah, so the last 6 seem to be opening a gap here already, is what I'm seeing, between there and Rotherham, because it jumps from 23rd to 15th. So even Rotherham there is overachieving for their position.
Okay, interesting.
With 15th.
But you brought up Aaron there. Aaron, hey everybody, this is Aaron. I'm feeling pretty rough today. The fields next to my house are being harvested, so my sinuses are going crazy right now, so I won't be able to on the show. But Ken and Jesh, yeah, we're here. So feel better, brother. So we want to get that in, but sorry to interrupt. Keep going. I apologize.
Wow. Well, I see we're going to win this weekend by 0.73 of a goal.
Right? Is that right?
We're going to score 2 goals and they're going to score 1.27.
Where do you see that?
That's the average that they score.
Oh, that's the average. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So we're going to win.
Ken,
but look at poor old Peterborough down in 12th place with a 1.3.
Yeah,
that's an awful shame.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just goes to show that, so that's their point. That's their points per game, not goals per game, isn't it?
That's points on average. Yes.
Points on average. Yeah. So just more than So so they're going to score. They're going to get just better than a draw per game for the season, which means they'll finish on 60 points.
60 points.
Or 46 games.
Yeah. Somewhere around there. But as you can see, the 6 teams below them, that's well above. That's somewhere around the 17, 18 mark or whatever.
Poor old Cambridge United, they're only going to score about 7 or 8 points for the whole season, according to that.
It could be. They are really still down there with only 1 point.
So quick question. Hips don't lie, as you know the song, but numbers don't lie either. You know what I mean? So, if the trend keeps going and two beards will get second spot this season, I mean, we're in the mix.
Yes.
Close your eyes. We're in the mix, right? That's a good sign. So are we overperforming or underperforming? Or are we just performing?
That depends on what your target is.
Got it.
Tell me what the target is for the year.
Well, I'll go with two beards. Number two. Number 1 or number 2.
Actually, understanding all this now, Paddy, have you done these numbers for last season and say at 10 games, 20 games, 30 games, 40 games?
Oh dear.
How do you mean?
That makes sense. Probably not, because that would have been an immense amount of work. What I'm saying is, if last season when we're in League 2 at 10 games, were we averaging 2, 2.2, 1.9?
You're about to
and
find
then
out.
at 20 games, what were we? 2.2, 1.9, 30 games, 40 games. Because obviously, like Josh just said, numbers don't lie.
Right. I did the first 10 and the last 10.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I'll be talking about next. Next week, what I think I might do is I might break it into the 4 sections. And I'm going to update my graph and show the whole season as a whole. But yes, I have compared the last 10 and the first 10 for today.
Because I think I've just cracked the code. We'll see how good I get.
Well, I think because you have the stats, and then Ken brought out a pen. So
he's old school. He likes to write it down.
Yeah, yeah. That might be a pencil. I'm not sure. I
Is
don't
it
know.
a napkin?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a pencil?
Oh, yeah.
Technical pencil.
Yep. I love it.
Okay. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dang.
Next up, we have last season's results versus this season's results. Now, I'm going to take it away again. And were you quick enough to see all the results?
I saw.
So what's your memories like? Remind me what happened in the first 10 matches last season.
I've got a good guess.
Go on.
We scored 16 points in the first 10 games.
Oh, you cheating bastard! No, you cheating. You're cheating.
Just a guess.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What else?
Of what else?
Do you remember the matches? Do you remember?
Oh, well, I know we lost hard early. We then started to come good. I know that, we lost 5-0, I think, to somebody early on. Stockport, maybe?
No.
Yes, but
Yes?
they're within the first 10.
Yep. And
It was a 5-5.
It was a 5-5, yeah.
You know, I will say that, remember, I did a spreadsheet last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I can remember the first 10, but the last 10 I don't know. The last 10 I'll be purely guessing for you, Paddy.
Okay.
That one I knew.
First match. You should know
MK
this.
Don. 5-3.
MK Don's 5-3 loss.
Yes. I got that right.
Okay. So here we go. MK Dons at home was a 5-3 loss. Wimbledon away, a 1-1 draw. Walsall at home, 4-2 win. Swindon Town home, 5-5 draw. Barrow away, 1-1 draw. Tranmere Rovers away, we won 1-0. Doncaster Rovers home, 2-1 win. Grimsby Town home, 3-0 win. Stockport County away, the match I went to, 5-0 loss.
Yeah.
And Crewe Alexandra at home, 3-3.
What happened?
You better turn that form around this year when you go to the Charlton game, Paddy.
I'm so nervous now. Is he bringing bad juju? Oh man.
Well, I'm going to the tough matches.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Because I wanted to go to the bigger stadiums.
Yeah. Charlton.
Right. So that is a 4 wins, 4 draws, and 2 loss for the first 10 matches last season, which was 16 points.
Yeah.
And then comparing that to this year, we had 6 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses for 20 points. Now, I won't go over those. We pretty much know how they have gone. So compare your opinion to the start of last season versus the start of this season.
Okay, so we got plus four points, 2 wins. You know, so we moved the draws to wins, which is good. Minus the heavy defeats, we probably had a better goal diff as well. I'm assuming, right? Does that sound right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think we had the highest goal difference in all 4 divisions. Is that correct?
Not sure about all 4 divisions, but in our division, yes, we have the highest at the moment.
Yep.
So the thing that stands out to me, we have 2 losses, but we moved our draws into wins. And if the draws into wins are away, nope, that's not right. That's not true. That's not true. But we moved 2 draws into wins, so that's 4 points.
Okay. Yeah. Now, looking at the 10 teams we had last season and the 10 teams we just played, give me your opinion. Did we have a harder start last season with the teams, or did we have a harder start this season with the teams we played?
He's totally asking Ken. He's not asking me.
Yeah, Josh, I thought you did really well in that last response, and you almost got to your point. Which I
landed the plane. It just we maybe lost like one of the wings.
Bit of turbulence.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, a little turbulence.
Yeah. Well, look, with last season you got the benefit of hindsight, and obviously, you can see who went up and who didn't, and obviously Stockport's there. I would say this year. We've probably, because with this year, you have to then think, are some of these teams going to come good later in the season? I think we've probably had almost the identical difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It's very close. Very close. So, I mean, I think in terms of difficulty, like obviously you look at the teams, Northampton, Stevenage, Leighton Orient, Crawley, they're all down the bottom. But then you have Birmingham, Shrewsbury's towards the bottom, but are having a couple of wins. Peterborough can win, Reading struggling, Bolton I think are going to come up, and Wickham are probably outperforming in my mind to where they'll probably finish the season at the moment. So I think they'll drop a little bit. So, but when I look at last year, I go, probably about the same level, Paddy. Where are we?
Well, can I just make a statement before you go? I think the only slip up we've had is Stevenage. The rest I can go with. I'm fine with the rest of it. I think the only slip up we've had is Stevenage. In my opinion, that's our worst game of the season.
Tell us if we're right or wrong, Paddy.
Throw up Jake Roberts' comment there.
I see that.
Yeah,
I see he thinks it's way harder, but look at the round of matches that we're about to come into. We're about to play Rotherham, who I think have underperformed. We're going to play Huddersfield, who's going all right. We're going to play Charlton.
Right. So this is a stat show. I am going strictly on the numbers.
Okay.
I agree with some of your comments. I believe that there are significant teams who will be up there at the end of the season who are in the lower end at the moment with a really bad start.
Bolton.
However, going off current positions, which is all we have for this season, the results are this.
Yeah.
If it changes.
No, you got it?
Nope. Yeah. Too many.
Okay.
Back one.
That didn't make sense to me, what you just did then.
No, it didn't. That's the wrong... Hang on.
All I heard at the very start, Paddy, was that you said Josh and I were right.
Yeah. And Paddy, Two Beard says that the first 10 games, the way we did, went on to win the league. So go ahead.
I put them in the wrong place. Okay.
So difficulty rating, what? Minus 26.
Right. So these are my ratings, my personal ratings that I put together. And this is basically ranked by your position in the league. And it's adjusted for home match versus away match. So you will get a greater score when you are playing someone away versus when you're at home in your own pitch. So it's adjusted for the home and away with every team. And basically, if you are getting a plus number, that means they are on the easier half of the table. And if you're getting a minus number, then they're on the harder side of the table. And then you add them together and you get an overall figure. So how that has worked out for last season was the first 10 matches gave a rating of minus 26. So that then puts those 10 above the average. A 0 would be average. Okay. So that would say that the first 10 matches are more difficult than the average 10 matches.
Last season, though, out of our first 10 matches, 7 of them were at home, weren't they?
Yes.
We've had more away matches so far this season compared to last season.
It's adjusted, home and away.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
You're saying this is significantly more difficult this season is what you're telling us right here.
No, you're getting it the wrong way around.
Hey?
According to the stats, last season we had a much more difficult start.
Also, the minus number's harder.
Harder, yeah.
Okay.
So when we move into this season, we ended up with a difficulty rating of 9.2. So easier than an average run of games.
It's a variance
for the whole season.
Now,
yeah.
Paddy, you're telling us we're screwed?
No. Relax with the drama. We're winning. So, no, the numbers just simply say that it's there's a significant difference from the last 10 and this 10. But as you said, we have an entire season for the stats for last year.
Yes.
Whereas we're going off only the first 10 so far.
Yeah.
And there are teams there we would pick to be significantly higher on the table that we have played. So that
So
would be
does that
Bolton
mean-
Wanderers and Peterborough United.
Does that mean at the end of the season, the rating for these first 10 games will change?
Yes, it'll change every time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want a rolling average, which is what you should be doing, and what's ahead of you will keep changing. It'll get easier or harder depending on how people are playing. Now, of course, there is a scenario where you get extremely lucky and you play difficult teams at their worst period of the season, and the other way around as well. You get easy teams at their worst periods, and you just happen to fly through them all. So just because it's averages doesn't guarantee anything.
Well, if we'd got Birmingham two games early or first game of the season, it would have been better.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh, we've just got to keep nodding like we understand.
No, I get it. I'm like I feel like I'm learning something, which is great because I'm usually watching and commenting dumb shit. So this is great.
Yeah, and look, it's Two Beards is saying it's significantly harder than last season this season, but the stats don't lie. And
yeah, he first of all he's taken that wrong. So let me address that.
Go on.
We're in League One now. It's significantly harder than last season. That's irrelevant.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's irrelevant. Like the fact
it's only relevant to its league, isn't it, Paddy?
It's relevant to its own league. We're comparing ourselves. We're a better team to other better teams in League One. Now, if we were doing worse, okay, you would then be kind of comparing that it's a harder league. But these ratings are irrelevant between leagues. They're a similar standard for the league we were in at that time. So at that time, we were a League Two team playing other League Two teams, and our first 10 matches on average last season are shown to have been a more difficult set of games for that league than the 10 that we have played now for this league, with the proviso that we don't have a full year's data, and this data will change. And if we look at it again at the end of the season, it could be very different.
By the way, just so you know, Paddy is our Rain Man. He has sat at the tables and done very, very well. And I trust his numbers.
Yeah, he has too.
Yes, he has. Yep.
Kelly's all over this. Look at this. See, Kelly's asked the same question that I asked you before. Is the difficulty for based on the first 10 games? This is the whole season. Do you have the same stats? Oh, Kelly, you've nailed it. Yep. Smart lady.
Okay. A, I could go and do that work, but B, the whole season is available. So I don't have to do that work. Plus, you don't use worse data. Using only the first 10 matches is technically worse data than using the entire season.
Well,
so you shouldn't, in theory, do that.
Yeah, you're not affected if it's in skill level required each league. No, it's pure numbers, right? Is that where you're going?
That shouldn't be relevant, Paddy. Is that right?
Well, the skill level is adjusted for each league itself. We were playing other teams in the same league. So
it's just where they finish.
It's just where they finished at the end of the season.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be the same.
We were a League Two team when we were playing League Two teams. Now we're a League One team playing League One teams. So there's no need to adjust between the leagues.
Sorry. Yankees did it all wrong. So, you know, Yankees did it wrong. Sorry.
Yep.
It makes sense to me. And I haven't sat in the Vegas table. I get it. Makes sense to me.
Now, what I'm reading here, Josh, is if you and I sit at the table with Paddy, we're gonna get rinsed.
Oh, he'll have my house and my cars.
You have a nice house, I think.
Not for long. We have a nice rental here on Palm Springs and Los Angeles. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this. Is great. By the way, this is so good. I'm loving it. Hard work is going in. This is great.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the one I skipped because I put it in the wrong place.
Sorry, can I? So Bruce and you, I think, are on the same wavelength. Wrexham podcast. The quote unquote difficulty is difficulty relative to the average for the league I think it's minus is harder relative to the plus is easier.
In that league, yes, he's
Yeah.
completely on top of it. Yeah.
I like
Loving it, Paddy. What do you got for us?
Now, remember, guys, you don't have to agree with the data.
Well,
and we have given reasons why it may not be totally accurate, because there's only 10 matches of data, and certain teams we expect to change by the end of the season. So, you have to consider all this stuff yourself and not take data at face value, because that's how people fool you. Is if you only listen to what they say and take it as gospel, then people can fool you with stats just for the hell of it.
Well, Paddy, if they don't agree with it, then they're obviously wrong.
Right, but you know who did agree with you? Right here, Moneyball.
Okay. Moneyball.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we have some stats. So our match is okay. So time of goal is an interesting one I want to go over quickly.
That is
so
wow. Yeah.
We have every 15 minutes, 15 to 30, 45. Now, the last 15 minutes does include the extra time. So there will be a few extra minutes there. So keep that in mind. And then the second half. So average for League One, you can see there is 11%, 15%, 18%, 15, 14, and 25. That's everybody, all the goals together.
What's the percentage?
What have we?
Is that a percentage? Question.
As a percentage, goals scored within the first 15 minutes, second 15 minutes, third. All right. Okay. So far this season, we have scored 22%, 22%, 22% in the first half. So that's over 60%, 66%. 2/3 of all goals have been in the first half.
That's fantastic.
And then we have 16, 1, 5.5, and 11. So that actually works out to be, in goal terms, 4-4-4, 3-1-2.
Judge has got a question.
Go on.
So that means we're not chasing a game.
Yes. Yeah, we are getting out there first. We're scoring the goals early.
Yep.
But we're not finishing them in the second half, maybe, unless we're already ahead. So the question that this brings up to me is, again, we only have a certain amount of data, but the difference in our team this season versus last season. When were we scoring our goals last season?
Definitely second half.
Definitely second half. We were shit first half. Yeah, right.
We were a second half team. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
We were letting people get ahead of us. We were coming back. We were scoring, and then we were stopping and playing defensive in the sometimes. But yeah, a lot of our goals were coming in second half. So we've completely flipped that script so far this season. Now, then I have the goals below. So you mentioned this earlier about our goal difference. Last season, in our first 10 matches, we scored 23, we conceded 23, and we had 2 clean sheets out of the 10 matches.
Mm-hmm.
This season, in the first 10 matches, 46 goals.
Yeah.
Hold on, 46 for or against? Sorry.
23 for, 23 against.
Oh, dear. So we were nil. We were nil on our...
We were on a 0 goal difference, yeah.
And we're plus 10 or 11 now, which means we're one of the highest. Yeah.
Okay, so this season we have scored 18, so 5 less than last year, but we have only conceded 8. So that is, 15 less in the first 10 matches. So that is a huge difference.
Our defense has been stout.
Yeah. And we have 5 clean sheets out of 10.
And what do we have clean sheets? 2 clean. Oh, wow. Wow. So the 4 points that we had, sorry, Banks, the four points that we had in the first 10 games to get us to 20 rather than 16.
Yeah.
We're performing better. We're overperforming than we were last year.
Oh, we're performing better. I'm not going to say overperforming.
Well, no, I mean, I'm asking.
Well, yeah, let's look at them individually. If you just look at goals scored, we are underperforming versus last season. We had 23 last season, and we have 18 this season. So you can say we scored 5 less. Okay. Sure. Then goals conceded, we had 23 last year, and now we have 8. We managed to save 15 more goals coming in on top of us than last season.
That is insane. That's an insane stat. We didn't have to score. We don't have to score as many goals, essentially.
Exactly. We don't need to score that many.
I'm going to put my Parky hat on now.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Last season, you win the league. And you go, right, win League One next year. What's it take to get promoted out of League One? We're going to be coming up against better teams, so we're probably going to score less goals. How do we beat teams by scoring less goals? We give up less goals. We've got to give up way less goals. And our defence has been on the money. Like, remember, because Foster started last season, quickly retired. We got rid of some defenders, and our defence only got really good in the back end of the season last year.
Yeah, it took a while, certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, AO made a massive difference. But he wasn't the only one. Our entire defense was moved out into the second half of the season.
I think 6 players from that. By the way, Matt Al says, "Can you start over?" Different. AO's been in goal. Okay, that's Marie says AO's been in goal. I don't think that's it. I think it's the quality. I also think the midfield is stronger too. And Bruce says, so people who only watch the offense will be moaning, even though it's defense that wins the championship. Yes, Michael Jordan. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, your attack wins matches, your defense wins your championships.
And subsequently, we've removed our number one offensive person, which would be Mullen, and we put JM in there. Who is would JM be outperforming Mullen? Would you think? Because he wasn't there.
He wasn't there last season.
Right. So is that okay? Okay. I don't know what ASMR is, by the way. I don't know.
I know what it is. I don't actually know what it stands for.
Oh, so I think that's an ASBO. ASBO, antisocial behavior order for Two Beard. There you go.
No.
Yeah. But man, I'll catch up, man. If I'm into, I got it. We're just gonna promote Moneyball here. This is a Moneyball episode. There you go. Done.
I've just realized if Josh can understand this, then everybody can.
I was an econ major.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, look at you. You look like a total like a
pencil.
Like
I'm writing it down.
Yeah. My brain hurts. All right, this is great. I love it.
What's next for us, Paddy?
Let's see. So we did
there is some people. While Paddy's getting ready for the next one, just saying, this has happened in the Discord. This should be a marathon planning episode. We're going to get
right back. I gotta something. I'll be right back. See you in a second.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Josh has been called out to run the marathon, and if Humphrey Kerr calls him out on it, so it's all happening. Drew says he'll do it as well. So I'm just going to say everybody needs to jump in there and lay it into good old Josh. Anyway, Paddy, hit us while Josh is away.
Okay. So now we're moving on to final 10 matches of the season. So last season in League 2, we went through a nice finish of matches. We had a very strong finish. So we started our last 10 with a draw at Harrogate Town, 0-0, a loss to Tranmere Rovers, 1-0. Then it goes into 3-1 away at Grimsby, 2-0 win at home to Mansfield. We lost to Doncaster Rovers, 1-0 away. Then Colchester away win, Crawley Town win, Forest Green Rovers win, Crewe Alexandria win, and Stockport on the final match for another win. So 5 in a row. That gave 22 points out of the final 10 matches. So that's even better than we started with in our first 10 matches.
So to get the same, well, there you go. To get the same points as last season, we're putting them in the bank now.
Yeah, so like this is why I kind of decided to have a look at the last 10 is obviously that's your running, and everything does come down to how well you do in that final section of matches. Because up until that point, if you are close enough, then you have a shot. So 7 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses in the final 10. Is that something we can repeat? So, who are our last 10 matches? We have Wycombe Wanderers away, Stockport County away, Exeter away, Cambridge Town. We have Burton at home, Wigan Athletic. We have Bristol Rovers, Blackpool, Charlton, and Lincoln Town. So, not a terrible run of matches, in my opinion.
Lincoln's tough. Blackpool will be tough.
Lincoln is tough. Blackpool, we don't know. We'll see how they go. They're doing really well at the moment. But
injuries will play a big part in this.
Yeah. And what will also play a part is the end of the season. Do people have relegation they're playing for? Are they mid-table? Is their season complete? Are they chasing playoffs? Or elsewise? Because Blackpool could certainly be in the playoff chase. So let's do that actually. Who do we think is in the playoff chases at that point?
In the playoff.
We can bring up the table, by the way. Sorry, 7 away games, by the way, at the end of the 10. Is that Mary?
Is something wrong with that actually? Did I make a mistake?
Have we got 7 away games out of 10 coming home?
Hold on, I'll bring it up.
4 in a row sounds wrong. Maybe I've made a mistake there.
I doubt it.
4 in a row wouldn't be scheduled normally.
Okay, I don't have the full schedule. 7 out of 10 away games will be scary if that's the truth. Does anyone have the schedule? It only goes.
You want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
I have it here.
Sorry,
Paddy's on it.
Yeah,
Paddy's on it.
Don't ask me. I'm just watching. I had to get away because of the running thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Lincoln away, Charlton at home, Blackpool away, Bristol Rovers at home, Wigan away, Burton at home. Yeah, there's something wrong. Cambridge away and Exeter away. There isn't 4 there. Stockport is at home.
Okay, so there's another home game. And Wycombe?
Yeah.
And Wycombe, sorry, one more.
Are they home or away?
Wycombe is away.
Okay, so we're going to have 6 away games and 4 home games in our last 10.
Okay.
So it's just Stockport that's wrong.
Okay. Just Stockport in the middle of those. Yeah, okay. That makes sense then. Okay. That breaks it up. That breaks it up completely.
Yeah. Okay, there she is. Marie from SoCal's all in it. Hi, Marie. How are you? There you go.
Yep.
Okay, so who do we think are going to be aiming for playoffs around these final 10? Because you're going to be close enough for quite a while. Wycombe, maybe. Stockport should be. Cambridge, Exeter, no. Burton, no.
Can I just put some out here, by the way? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Cambridge battling relegation. So those are dangerous sides. That's what, things like that.
At that point,
we're talking about playoffs first, Josh.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Then relegation.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, Ken. I'm talking about they're not going to give up. They're going to be out there fighting to try to stay in the league.
It's okay. We can do both at the same time. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
okay. I thought he was going to do relegation later, Josh.
Yeah, Cambridge. It's 7 matches away from the end, so they shouldn't be that far behind that they technically can't make it. So yes, they should still be fighting.
Yeah, that's the point. It's not about the. Yeah. I know it's a numbers thing, but they'll be fighting to stay. That's what I'm saying, Ken. But you're right. Yeah. I'm saying that's all.
I hear you.
Okay, so Exeter, Burton, Wigan, and Bristol are kind of the middle ground. They could be anywhere. They might be close to the bottom, but I doubt it. because we have the 6
and
that are likely
Blackpool.
to be down there. Blackpool could be close enough to the playoffs. They could be in the playoffs.
Yep, fair
at
enough.
that point. Charlton, yeah, they should be up there, and Lincoln, the way they're playing at the moment, yeah, it's like those last 3 are not simple matches.
Well, let's see how we get on at Charlton in 2 weeks' time, right? But they scare me for some reason. I don't know why. Even though we've taken 2 of their players, I don't know. They're just my spidey sense is up there for some reason.
Before I come on this show, I was so happy. We're at 20 points. We're in second. Now I'm just stressed.
Nah. No, there's a nice mix there, but
Yeah.
I don't think like that's not something as a group of 10 that would overly concern me as an average. So I have done the numbers. So let's go on to the next one, and let's hope I did it correctly.
I hope so too. God damn it.
Come on.
Okay. So this is hard, but still slightly easier.
Okay.
Am I reading that correct, Paddy?
Yes. Okay. So our last 10 matches from last season gave us a difficulty rating of minus 10.7.
Can I just bring it up real quick? So Stockport is actually home. What do you think the transition there is? The point in the negative 7.7. If we're gonna do,
well, it should make it easier, even easier.
7.7.
Right.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
Stockport at home minus 7.7. 1.4 is the difference.
Okay, so about 6.4. Okay, negative 6.4. Yeah. Negative 6.4. Okay, negative 6.4. Okay.
Okay, so we achieved a lot of points in the final 10 last season with a similar grouping of teams.
Similar harder grouping of teams, according to you.
Technically harder, yes. Technically a little bit harder. Yeah.
Yep. Crew for sure. Stockport. Yep. Well, Stockport, the game was, yeah. Okay.
Well, it was done and dusted. It was the final one, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Which could be the same for Lincoln.
Could be the same for Lincoln. Yeah.
Does Lincoln scare you guys? I mean,
they're a good team.
Yeah, exactly. They're a good team. I don't think, and I said it before, I don't think any team scares me. We can beat any team if we play well on the day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're a tough team. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
that one.
I do. And then Matt also says Steve Bruce has a nose for playoffs, saying that Steve Bruce has a nose for Bongo. Sorry, I thought it was something intelligent. It was something I would say for sure. Hi, Matt. How are you doing, buddy? All right, so 6.4 minus the adjust. All right, so Wickham we beat already. Stockport, that's a tough match. Exeter, okay. Cambridge, Town, Burton, Lafleur, that's the whole thing there. There's storylines to all of these, right? There's Blackpool, Charlton, and Lincoln. Yeah, okay.
Well, I can definitely see 5 wins there.
What do you got? Where? Give it to me.
Exeter, Cambridge, Burton, Wigan, and Bristol.
Not Wickham?
Well, I'm just leaving that out for now. It's away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 15 points out of 5.
We can win the Bristol game, right? I think.
Yeah, well, the 4 easiest matches there are Cambridge, Burton, Wigan, and Bristol. Yeah, they're all on the plus side of the scale.
Yeah.
Then it goes to Blackpool -2, Charlton -4, and then a mix of others. But yeah, Charlton's is going to change. They're going to go up.
The Burton home is the toughest game, or the least toughest game. Right now. 12-1. Burton home.
Burton at home is the easiest.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay. Two Beards thinks we can win every game.
We can, in theory.
Good call.
Done.
Yeah.
He must have hit the pipe. Charlton and Lincoln might might be those teams that pick up a good run later down the season. Says Mary.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you Lincoln? I'm afraid of. Charlton, not so much. Maurice says, I mean, Stockport at home, they're going to be tough. I think the previous slide indicated we had with 7 games out of 10 following the 23-23 model, so we need to win 3 wins away. I don't know. I mean, that's
well,
Paddy.
yeah. If you're achieving in the same part of the season, and that's the question. We had a bit of a slide, kind of mid-season, and then we picked form back up, achieving the 22 points in the final 10. So we may not need 22 points in the final 10. We might do very solid across Christmas into New Year, and then be able to have a couple of more draws, have a couple of more losses coming in the road at the end.
How low did we go in the middle of that? Because we are. Does anyone remember? No, I know.
I'm hearing a limbo song.
Don't you back? I know, Ken. How we only got to 5th, maybe 4th, 5th, right?
When
in our slide during our bad period, our quote unquote bad period. You know,
last year
we didn't go below 4 or 5, right?
Not once we got up the top. Yes,
we were lower earlier.
Yeah, we were lower at the start of the season, and it had to grow back. Yeah,
right. I got plenty of sleep last night. What do you? Maria, that's for the boys here.
Better than last year, Mary, and I think there's even better to come.
I'm quite negative on our away form this season.
But it's better than last year.
It's better than last year because of our defense, but it's very, very weak in form in terms of attacking. We have scored very few goals on our away matches.
Yeah, we
so
have. We have not.
We need to change that.
Yeah, we have not.
But we're not conceding goals, so we don't need to score as many.
But you have to score some, and we've been lucky so far.
How many 0-0 draws do we have? 2?
One?
No, 2.
1, I think. We've had a 1-1, a 0-0.
We've had a 1-1 and a 0-0.
A 1-1 and a 0-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We dropped to 12th at one point.
That would be early, though.
Yes.
That was early in the season. That wasn't later in the season.
Yeah.
Which is why when you look at all the stats very early on, you have to take them with a grain of salt. And I think there's still teams in our division now that are going to start trending up from now through till Christmas.
Do we have our next 10 games, Paddy?
Not here this week.
Okay. See, I'm planning ahead.
Yeah, so next week would be my show for that, going the whole season and showing it.
But the sample size is good. We're looking at it, and so with all the data you have here, where do you see us finishing? Well, sorry, that's a bad question. That's not a. Well,
it's a great question.
No, it's not. It's unfair, but it is. It's a good drama question, but it's not a real question because we're pretending to stats.
So say it again, because I missed a little bit of actually. What did you say?
With the data we have so far,
yeah.
Okay, with where are we projected to end up? Where do you see this happen?
Second.
Great. That's what I have in my head too. Got it. Okay.
But as I showed you, there are 4 teams projected to be second.
Yeah.
At the moment, so
that
will have to balance itself out,
mm-hmm.
or continue, and then we're going to have a very high amount of points for second.
Well, I think if we get to 20 games, Paddy, and we're on 40 points, I'll be one very happy Wrexham fan.
Yeah.
Will Ambo is asking Santa for a win streak. There you go.
Good call.
Matt Al says it's a very odd our away performance. The result at
Yes.
Stevenage was shocking, then bounced back
Yep.
with a brilliant win. I can put my finger on it. I can't. That was a really bad performance. Really bad. But
I do not get it.
I think we're a little bit overconfident going in against Stevenage, in my opinion.
no, I think we are out of sorts.
We didn't. We were not as passionate and as intense. That's the word I'm looking for in that match as we've been in other matches.
We are not intense away at all, though. Generally, like there's exceptions, but that's part of the problem I see.
I think it's.
How are we so different away? I don't understand that.
I think it's. We're not going out to win. We're going out to not lose. That's what
I hate that mentality, though.
I know. I agree with you 100%. I think that's his mentality. I'm not going to fight him on it, Parkinson, but I think that's the mentality. Don't go out and get ripped 5-0. Go out and don't lose. But I also think it takes away from us too. From what we have better players, and we have better. I'm going to get cut up. We have better players in some of these teams, and we're playing down to them. But that said, a lot of teams play down to their level. If you look at I'm going to use the bad version here. Real Madrid, City, they all play the game they always want to play. We don't play that game. We adjust too much to some of these sides when we go away to their homes. That's right. So, but he knows the league, and that's it. I'll go with that.
My argument with playing defensive away is simply a statistical thing, which is that the win is worth 3 points and a draw is worth 1. It's not worth 1.5. It's not a half a win. It's less. So 1 win of 3 points makes up for 3 draws. So when you are the better team, which I would say technically we are in most matches because we're high on the leaderboard, then statistically it does not make sense to play defensively. You play attacking and you will end up with more wins. And when you don't end up with wins, you will end up with some draws. And you risk the couple of losses.
Paddy, do you think he's crunching the data like this as well?
Of course.
Yeah.
But the mentality of a draw away has been ingrained for a long time. Everybody says it, and I think statistically it's wrong. You know, it's and to me it puts a poor mentality in your head not to go out and try to win, especially when you're the better team. Now, I can understand it when you're looking at the top half of the table. You know, when you're actually coming up against teams that are as good as you, let's say. But when you're attacking the weaker teams, the fact that you're not going out there under a strong attack, I don't like it.
Ken, I'll pass to you. I'm not I'll pass to you, but I'll like that's.
No, I think look, I totally agree with what Paddy's saying there. I just think that we've yet to find our mojo away this season, but I do think it's coming.
Yeah, Paddy, the data is pretty incredible. Like it's just breaking it down, looking at it. It gives everyone a little bit different perspective. I've always, it's pretty incredible. It really is. It's awesome. Matt Al talks about mimicking the style of play. The Salford game, I think it was 113 headers last game.
Yeah.
I think
that was a joke.
No, I think he counted him. I actually think he got 113 headers. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know we counted him. It was fun last season.
So, and what do you make of the data?
The data is telling me pretty much what I kind of believed. You know, the question is what is causing our away weakness.
There you go. There's Kelly.
I don't know what originally caused it, but Wrexham's away performance has now become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Excuse me. I kind of agree with that. Yeah. I think that because we have always been saying, oh, we play crap away, we do play crap away. It is a bit of a mental thing. Now, what will be interesting this season to see is if it's enough to save us because we have a strong defense. If our defense holds up as well or close to it away, giving us very low results and not allowing teams to beat us 3-1 and 4-1 away, which we had last season, then we are always within striking distance of pulling back the draw or pulling out the win with one spectacular goal. So that bodes well for a decent return for our away matches. But I don't like the mentality and the other stuff that seems to go with it. And I don't understand why we're so different away.
Manos says 267 headers, by the way, for the Celtics. Okay. Now your data is on track for second past weeks. What were you on track to finish? Second, right?
First.
First.
Yeah, we were on track for first, but it's too early. As you can see, the data still hasn't leveled out really, with 4 people above the average for top 2. Needs a bit more time.
Kenneth, the pencil out. What was your rate?
No, I was just thinking, like, we've had 5 home games and 5 away games so far this season. That's even. So there's no skewing of the numbers there. And I'm just sort of thinking about how we've played. And I just think that, I'm honestly of the opinion that we're trending up away. Now, that doesn't mean I'm expecting us to win all our away games. I just think it's improving. Our performances away are improving. And I'm going to sort of exclude the Stevenage game. But I do think that we're going to be heading in a direction where we can actually definitely get draws and sneak those few wins away, which are like gold dust.
Guys, do you agree with that comment from Glenda?
I don't believe that Parky and the team go into any game looking for anything.
I do.
Go ahead. I have thoughts. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I do. Full stop.
You think we go into? I think there's a caveat to that, and I know Paddy's got one in the chamber. I think it's go out to not lose, not win, not lose, not win. Sorry, not lose. That's what I think, in my opinion.
What do you think, Paddy?
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily go all out for a win. I do not see us when we are away risking a loss in order to achieve the win.
100%. And then Kelly just backed it up. I'm not right, but I'm not saying, but I think there it is. We don't look forward to it. Much better against stronger teams because we want to play football. Teams, you guys and gals know this. You can disrupt games. I think that goes out to some of the things too. But when we go out on the front foot, we put ourselves about. We put our. I think we are a better side. But I think that Parkinson, knowing the league and the data that Paddy has just crunched for us amazingly, I think that he is risk averse. So, but to your data this season, we've scored first in the first half. That has helped us. If we continue to do that, I don't know if the rest of that comes into play. So we're not chasing games. Does that make sense?
It does. And the last stats show I did with Aaron, we kind of went over the home versus away data. And the away data was shocking. we were getting the 1 goal. And that's what was saving us. That's what has stopped us having ridiculous results on the away side. So, look, long may it continue if that's what we need to do. I've no problem scraping out 1 goal if it gets us the wins away. And we can look as ugly as you want. I don't care when we're away. You know,
just remember, we've
it's
only
the results that
conceded,
matter.
yeah, we've only conceded 8 goals so far this season, and 2 of those goals were in one game against Wickham, which we won, and 3 of the goals were in Birmingham. So in 2 games, we've conceded 5 of our 8 goals.
Mm-hmm.
So we've conceded 3 goals in 8 games.
That is impressive, Ken. That is really impressive.
That I remembered it, or that's the numbers?
No, all of it. You and Paddy's numbers, and so the difference is what the variance is 16. Is that right?
10. We got a plus 10.
Plus 10.
No, 8 and 23. Did we? What is that? 23?
No, we have.
We conceded 8 and 23 goals is what we conceded. The variance is 16.
Right.
No, the variance I think was 15 between the two years.
No.
We've
scored 18, Josh.
It was it was a defensive difference of 15 goals between last season and this season. That's where the 15 came in. The 10 is this season our goal difference.
We've scored 18 goals and we've conceded 8.
So, sorry, Glenda says, remember to smash a like. Thank you, Glenda. Do we smash a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to Local Pundit live every day, news and update show, and with this power stats, all this stuff. Thank you all for coming in. It's awesome. But are we a different team? Are we playing a different style? Are we? Because I don't think we're playing a different style. I don't think that Parkinson has changed much, in my opinion, to get us to this result. I think we're playing better in certain ways, but the stats are what you put out. The stats don't lie, stats don't lie.
Okay. The comment here, Marie, I want to bring up.
This one?
If I can see it.
Wayne?
Yeah. There we go. As Wayne said, it's hard to mentally stay up for every game. Now, one, I disagree with that, first of all. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I hate, again, it comes down to mentality. And I don't really care what people say. I expect more from professional footballers. So maybe I'm a bit harsh on that. Okay, that's fine. But that's my opinion. But to mentally stay up for every game, the difference
absolutely impossible, Paddy.
Okay. But
play professional sport, it's absolutely impossible. Well, and you think about it in your everyday.
Okay, but not to the point that every player on the team drops together.
No,
you know what I mean. Like you can have individual matches where you don't play your best.
Some things
that's fine, but a whole team shouldn't fall apart for a match.
No, that's right.
So that leads to other issues are causing that. If the whole team is collapsing, but I would argue my point on this, and what shows me about the mental toughness and how good you really are as a team is when you look at the best teams, very often the difference between the very best and the almost best are how easily you dispatch the weaker teams. You go out, you play your game, and you get the job done and done quickly. You don't tend to see the best teams struggling with the weaker teams in the same way.
But would you say the quality of teams is closer together in this league than last year's league?
Last year, as in League 2, or?
Well, yeah, last year we're in League 2, now we're in League 1. Is the gap between the best team and the worst team a greater difference?
No, I don't think so. I would probably argue that there's more teams that could be fighting for promotion than potentially we had last season.
Yeah, well, that's really my point. You've just agreed with me that the teams are closer together.
Well, on that side of it, yes.
Yeah.
Then.
So therefore, when you are slightly off mentally, you're more likely to lose, as opposed to, say, being slightly off last year against a much weaker team. You can still produce the goods to get the job done.
I'll take this on real quick because, Ken, you play golf by yourself. And I know we're getting off topic a little bit, which is fine. So I know, Paddy, your skills, I don't want to call you out. Like you sat at the table, very cerebral, looking at what's going on. So Paddy has a good mental state with being focused for what playing. I'm going to say it, but playing cards, right? You're reading people, you're doing things, right? Mm-hmm. Ken, you as a golfer, as a tennis player, right? You're doing different things in your head to stay focused. Team plays a little bit different. So is that off? I know we're getting like into the weeds a little bit, but you know, both can take it on. It's not my show, but I'm just putting it out there.
Well, when you're talking about it, what you got to remember is each member of the team is an individual. So whether that individual can be on or off, and I'm just going to pick a player randomly, like, and I'll pick Elliot Lee, who played the most minutes of any of our players last season. Mm-hmm. And you could see the mental drain on him in that run, and how hard it is to stay up. Now, Elliot Lee at 100%, versus Elliot Lee at 90% could be the difference between the whole team performing enough to win a match, because he's a link-up man between defense and attack and so on and so forth. So that can make a difference to the whole team. It shouldn't make as much a difference because there's a whole team involved. But when it becomes a vital player, let's pick AO as an example. If he's mentally down, that could cost you 2 goals.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the point, though, is we're not looking at individual matches. We're looking at trends on a longer timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the trend has been there for the majority of last season with the away matches and the difference between home and away. So individual bad performances don't account for it. What you're being told to do by Parky, maybe. Like if you are being told to be very defensive and not play attacking football, that could cause it.
Yeah.
And on the long term, your mentality can slip if your expectation is lowered. Once you get to a point where the expectation of what is required from you when you're at away matches is less, therefore you don't need to necessarily perform at the highest levels. And everybody is capable of slipping into that. It's like the idea, okay, even in work, you're given a project to complete in a week. You have the time, but you don't complete it in 2 days. Well, I don't have to do it for a week, so I'll do it on Friday. You know what I mean? You just let it slide for no reason. And this is kind of a similar enough thing with expectations in general. Is if your expectation is you only win 1 out of every 3 and then draw 1 and lose 1, that's fine and acceptable. Well, that's all you need to do. And then when you're at home, you're expected to win 2 and draw 1. Complete different expectations, and you get a different level out of the players.
I'll tell you this. Okay. They're doing the same thing inside the locker room, what we are saying right here, in a positive way. Sorry, Patty, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, I said they're doing the same thing. They are. This is why I love this show. And Patty, it's brilliant. I love it. The stats are amazing. We're threading every needle, going through everything right here, trying to figure it out. We're just sitting here in Finland, in Australia, in Los Angeles. And they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? For every player, every person. We don't have the personalities in there too, but like this is how difficult it is to actually run a club, run a room, manage all the stuff with the people, the players, the personalities, everything, numbers wise. This is it. This is why this show I think is fantastic. So fair point. That's it. I'm done. Stupid comment, but I just want to put it out there. I love it.
Like we're all aware of the elements that are different when you are away. Okay, and I don't disregard them. The extra fans, the louder cheering, understanding your pitch better, what areas of the pitch waterlog, what areas are sandy, where the ball rolls correctly, the width of the pitch, all these little differences that make it just a little bit easier for you when you're making the long passes or whatever. All of these things, that's fine. And that can lead to slightly worse results when you're away. Okay, I'll agree with all of that. But if you actually look the same in your playing style, in your playing mentality, and in everything else, then you can account for it like that. And I just don't think our performances away are close enough to our performances at home to say the difference is the pitch, the fans, and the other extras that come with being away. Being a bit more tired, being on a coach journey, not being at home in bed, getting up early for travel, being in a hotel room, all this sort of stuff can have some effect. But I don't see it being enough, all of that stuff combined, to justify the difference in our away form versus our home form.
Do we think it's going to affect us at the end of the season? Because the numbers, I'm going to say the numbers now 10 look decent. We look good. We look really good. We look good.
Yeah. Stats are good. I think Paddy's point there, taking that on. I mean, I'll probably want to lean you back more towards your stats show, Paddy.
Yep.
But you've got to remember, like an away team, if they're 5% down and a home team's 5% up because of home food, home sleep, all those things, as opposed to away early travel, all those things make a big difference. You go 5% swing either way, that's a 10% gap. So,
okay, would you argue that that's enough to be the difference in our form?
No, I wouldn't.
No. Okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Oh no, that's just a question. Like,
yeah.
So it doesn't change anything. It just means, because like I said earlier, I think our away form is trending on the improve. And Kelly tried to call me on it later with the stats don't read that way, but I can see it coming. And and this is where you can make the stats say what a lot of the times you can read the stats to suit you sometimes. But that they're indisputable. But what you can also see is trends in attitude, playing, physicality, energy, all these things. So that's
intangibles. The intangibles. What Mary's saying right there. Intangibles for sure. Yeah.
One argument I would make along the lines of what Mary is saying is yes, we are generally very strong mentally. So I'm not trying to go too hard on it and say that we're not mentally strong, but I would make the argument that we balance out the losses in the away side of it by being more mentally resilient at home. Because the opposite of that pendulum / seesaw is the home form when we're at home is so good that we get the boost on the opposite side of it, that the expectations are so high, we never expect to lose at home. So that also balances on the other side of the scale and has for quite a while. So again, long may that continue. And the same as Ken was saying, I don't care how bad the results are away, as long as we get the results. I really don't, as long as it doesn't slide into too many losses / too many draws on the away side, fine.
Yeah, but that's a great shout, by the way. And I want to ask you a follow-up question to that, but this one's to Ken. I believe he's an Aussie down in the area, right?
He is. Yep. So he's just came back from a trip from Albury, there's two towns, Albury and Wodonga, which sit on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. And that's the Murray River is the border. They're a beautiful part of the world. They hire houseboats and go trips, staying on houseboats there and having a great time. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Matt. And bring on, hope you had a great time. And if you move there, fantastic. Other than that, as long as you can still get Wrexham feed there, feel free.
Paddy, it's been an absolute dope show. What else we got? Numbers don't lie, hips don't lie. What do we got? What's the closeout?
Look, let's just take the positives. We're stronger start than last season.
Yeah.
We look like a reasonable run-in for the final 10 matches. And we're doing really well. Our away performances are not great looking, but the results have been good.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
Not amazing. Our home form is amazing, but still combine them together, which is the whole point. we are way up there. So the numbers are all leaning in our favor so far. They really are.
So, yeah, the stats read that we would finish 4 points higher than we did last year.
Yep.
On 88 points last year, but at the moment the stats are reading 92 points if we keep this trend. Is that correct, Paddy?
Yeah.
Yep. So fantastic. Maybe Josh, I guess, what are we invited back for stat show number 20 to see whether we're still around?
Yeah, we're not invited back to next week for sure. When Paddy, can we get a ponytail update before and you can kill us out of here.
A ponytail update.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a ponytail right now. I just have long hair.
Long hair, don't care. Yeah.
Long hair. I want the top bun, top knot.
It's getting in there. That is good. It's gonna be good.
How's that, Josh?
I can do a top knot for Saturday. I'll get the missus to do a top knot if you want.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
If we win the league, I'll shave my head. How's that?
Whoa.
Done. We win the league, I'll shave my head and my back.
Mary.
Oh,
Mary.
Wait. Oh, Mary, go on. Because it's the stat show. Go on, Paddy.
Your show, Paddy.
We had a little bit of a home and away chat in the last episode, but yes, I will do an actual major away show if it becomes relevant. So if it becomes a major statistical difference, absolutely, I'll do a show. Might not even be halfway through the season, but at some point, I will do stats on generally our home and away performance, and hopefully it's still good at that point. But that will be part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. There's a couple in here too. One day Matt's gonna come on. Matt, you're always welcome on, man. You've been on before when you were walking away. And Marif says, rather than away, we're telling. Is there a North Wales? I need
North Wales as opposed to New South Wales. No, Matt L, there's not. So yeah.
This is probably to Paddy. Paddy, you got that one? Pretty clean sheet, implemented defense when the middle three are working as a unit. Stronger opposition, less freedom.
Yeah. Good call, Bruce.
Good call, Bruce. And Christopher. Thank you, Statty. Great breakdown. Paddy's all over it. I love it. We're just covering here.
Paddy's on fire. This is an awesome amount of effort that he puts in here.
I love it. It makes you feel better, but can you feel worse?
Well, only because it felt really bad when he said we're in trouble. I'm thinking, oh my god, the last 10 matches with all those away games, and I'm thinking we better start racking up some points.
Yeah, yeah. What are you clipping? I'm going to shave my head. Two beers. I will shave my head. I'll absolutely shave my head. 100%. There's no way about that. Oh, golly. It's not about me. It's about the stat show tonight. So it's not about me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Mary. Oh, God.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Mary, we appreciate everything you do for the channel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you for the $9.99 that you threw in for us there just a little while ago.
Yep.
Hello.
We're good. Okay.
How many members we got, Josh?
Oh, I don't even know.
Not 100.
Internet never forgets. No. This is not. I'm a passenger tonight. Literally a passenger. Literally, this is not my show.
Just tonight.
Well, yeah. Paddy's gonna kick us out. There you go.
As well, he should.
Yeah, it's his show.
Well, you need to go and start training for the marathon.
I'm ready.
You do.
You're not just. Well, actually, in fairness, you do go jogging, don't you?
I don't.
Quite a lot.
I don't. I go walking.
You don't run on your biceps, Josh.
You don't.
Yeah, exactly. You don't run on your biceps. Yeah.
I'm 45 years old as of what day is it? 4 days ago. I don't know. I mean, God.
That's less than a kilometre for every year you've been alive, because it's 42.1 kilometres as opposed to 26 mile.
What's that in English? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in English, it is 42.1 kilometres.
You scumbag. Paddy should change the name to Stato. Yeah, he's killing it, man. I love it. He's killing it. And
I'm never running anywhere for 40 kilometers.
Bruce,
Do that.
A kid of 45 should be able to jog a marathon. He's calling you a kid. You're young.
I probably can do. Literally right now, I probably can walk out and run 6 miles, and I haven't.
Okay, perfect.
I could probably walk. I could go out and walk 6 miles right now.
There you go, Josh.
And he's not here. They wait for the.
He's awake. She's awake getting serviced.
Annie right now. So producer Ann right now. I'd love for her to be home. She's not here right now, and I'm not going to steal from the show. Annie right now is in nose deep in a third installment of a movie. So I'll just put it away. But I want. It's not about Ann. Paddy. The effing stat show is awesome. I learned a lot. The effing stat show is awesome.
We feel privileged to be invited, Paddy.
Yeah. When can we come back? Is my invited back, Paddy? Or no?
Putting him on the spot.
Yeah, you can come back.
Yeah. Did Ken offer anything that was valuable, or just? Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. I think I might get invited back for the wrap up at the end of season.
Ask the chat if they want you back.
No,
that's more important. That's a more important opinion than mine.
No. I think they meant.
I'm a bit scared to ask the chat to rank them in order, because I know Paddy's going to be number 1. Yeah. But then it's down to you and me, Josh.
Honestly, great job, Shell. This is the bad version, Shell, and you're going to shoot me. This is like getting an audit, but like in a good way, so we can analyze. You know what I mean? I think this is kind of like, looking behind the, like, okay, we're gonna either feel good or bad. Like, oh shit, we're kind of coming on top this year, or we're gonna feel bad. You know what I mean? So, I think it's good because it gives us, like, the numbers don't lie. And granted, I'm gonna call you out again. Paddy sat at the tables in Vegas and played what? Sorry, go ahead.
No Limit Hold'em.
No Limit Hold'em. So he's a cerebral guy, and he knows what's going on with numbers, and he's our Rain Man. So and it's also personality plus, as you know. But it's like you look at it, it's like, okay, where are we at? We feel good about ourselves, or we feel shit. So take it what it is. I actually learned like 7 things tonight, and then Ken just sold the house. Ken sold the house.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
I have a profile on the World Series of Poker website.
Yes, you do.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you might be amazed what I look like if someone ever finds it.
Have you ever seen the movie Sexy Beast? There you go.
I look very different than young.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good show. 10th Ken. Yeah, Drew's trying to get me to do this. Thanks, Paddy, Ken, and Josh. Don't thank Paddy did all the work. So,
well, Paddy.
Yeah, Paddy, kick us out. Let's go.
Well, go run and train for your marathon, and maybe I'll see you over there for the second Charlton match.
Yeah.
Because if you're going now, you have to stay for the match as well.
Oh, for sure, absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right,
and we have to guess which one are we going to invade the pitch.
Oh,
I missed by 1 game last year.
Oh, that sucks.
I was at the Crawley Town match. It was in the next match.
Well, boys, I reckon I might do us all the favour. And Paddy, thanks so much for having us on today. You were fantastic. I love the stats.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out for us. And on that bombshell.
Yep. Boom. Bombshell. Boom. He's out. He's got to go sell houses, man.
Take care, Josh.
No, see you, buddy. On that
go
bombshell.
Right, everybody, the stats show is done for today. And we will be back as soon as we have something interesting to talk about. So I will leave it at that. I enjoyed today. It was a lot of fun having 2 new faces to this stats show, but not new to the channel. And I'm sure they'll pop in again at some point in the near future. So guys, on that bombshell, where I will be watching the team at an away match coming up soon. So I will have a lot to talk about after that one. And they may not be stats related. Right. Oh, good luck to the team with all our matches and all our stats in the future. Take care, guys. On that bombshell, I'm out.